Okay.
Okay, good afternoon. This is Robert and Sharon Porter of Team Porter coming from Trucking and Business. And we are speaking with our special guest and friend, Marcus Kurt. We know him as Kurt. I've always known him as Kurt. So we're speaking to Kurt today on knowing your numbers. In trucking, that's something that is important for us to know. So Kurt, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us who you are, and we can get right into this conversation.
Okay. My name is Marquise Kurt. Let's get that correct, Sherry. Marquise.
Marquise.
Yeah, but that's fine. I get called Marcus a lot. But my name, I run a small trucking company. I have my own authority. I have a small fleet. I've been doing it for about a year now, but I've been in the trucking industry for a little over 15 years. I became an owner operator about 3 years ago. That's when I met Sharon and Robert, and they helped guide me on my journey here. But we're going to get right into the info. We're going to talk about knowing your numbers. Okay. Well, first you need a solid foundation. And what that means is you're going to want to know all of your personal and business liabilities and your personal bills. Okay. So you're going to want to separate your personal and your business bills. Okay. And the way we're going to do that, well, you're going to open a business checking account, a business bank account, and you're going to set yourself up on payroll. Okay. And all your personal bills are going to be taken care of by paying yourself a paycheck every week. And all your business expenses will be taken care of by paying it through your business bank account. Okay. So once you have your account separated, it's pretty much easy from there. Okay. So you're gonna take your personal expenses. So for example, let's say your personal expenses are $4,000 a month. We're gonna make the numbers easy. So $4,000 a month, you're gonna want to pay yourself a check every week, roughly about $1,000 a week, and that's conservative. All right, so most people like to have fun in life, want to take a vacation or whatever. So you may want to leave yourself a cushion, and then, well, you're gonna make your paycheck, maybe $1,200 a week. But it's important to pay yourself this paycheck because it's gonna separate your funds, your personal funds, and your business funds. You're gonna keep everything separated, and it's gonna help you guide your business to generate profits in the future. Let's say they are about $16,000 a month. I'm gonna make the numbers easy. So you're gonna want to gross. You're gonna want to gross as best you can $4,000 a week to cover all your expenses. And if you're a go-getter, you're gonna make sure you make more than that necessary $4,000 a week to help generate profits for your future.
Basically, the point that you brought out was a very good key point that you said. It's called keeping it separate, keeping it separate, making sure. Now, let me ask you this. Who do you use to do your payroll? Do you use an outside company, or do you figure it out through QuickBooks? I mean, what do you do in order, because you talk about keeping it separate. What helps you to keep it separate?
What helps me keep it separate? I don't recommend any company personally, but I do use a software called QuickBooks Payroll, and they do all of the suggested taxes. They help me pay my federal taxes, my state taxes. That's a whole different ball game when it comes to payroll, but that's what I use, QuickBooks.
You use QuickBooks, okay. So does that work? Do you use it as well on the trucking side or just on your personal side?
Yes, all around, personal and business.
Oh, okay. Because I know we tried to use QuickBooks, but that's for some reason it seemed like it doesn't capture all our deductions based on using QuickBooks. So QuickBooks help you with all the deductions. I mean, how do you work that out as far as the numbers? Dealing with the trucking part. I'm just talking about the trucking part right now. Mm-hmm. How do you input all your numbers and stuff in QuickBooks based on the trucking part? I mean, how do you separate that?
Okay, so it's I have all my banking accounts set up with QuickBooks, but I have a I have a fuel card. I have a fuel card that's also connected to my bank account. So that's the way I can have everything in there. That was the one piece missing before. But all my accounts, all my fuel accounts, my toll accounts, my checking, saving, credit cards, every account I have, all my loan accounts, everything's set up with our QuickBooks. So anytime a transaction take place, they account it.
Oh, okay. So now that goes to show. So because we off the comm data system, and the things that we do through the company that we leased on with, it's kind of hard to go through QuickBooks because we can't capture everything because of how the system is set up.
We have to manually enter all of those different transactions because of the fact of us being on that system.
So I want you to go through the steps. Now, let's say, for example, you got a $10,000 check that you have did for the week, right? And I'm just using this hypothetically. You know what I mean? You have a $10,000 check come in. So how is that broken down? Break that down for me. So you got a check coming in for $10,000 revenue coming in for 10 grand. How would you break that down? How would you disperse that out? How would you do that?
Okay, so like I said, I pay myself. You would pay yourself weekly. So the first thing you're going to want to do is take out your payroll expenses. It's an expense. It's a liability. Paying yourself is part of business. So take out whatever you pay yourself a week. I would take that out first.
Okay.
Then I would go down the line of any things that are due that week. Okay. And then I may earmark some things. I would earmark some things. Say tires. You need tires. Matter of fact, that's a good question. One thing I really do, I do an automatic savings.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get off topic here a little bit, but so let's say you want to buy a truck next year. So I set up goals, small goals. I will set up a automatic savings every week. So I may save 500 every week. No matter what I make, I'm going to save 500 because I know next year I want to get a truck, and that's what I need to save every week to have enough money for a down payment. So that's one thing I will set aside out of that $10,000. So I will pay myself. Then I'm gonna pay all my current or recent liabilities. I'm gonna set aside money for savings and profit, and then I'm gonna set out money money to sit there for the future growth of my company.
No, okay. So you have one account that the money goes in, and then from that account, that's when you disperse, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's almost like the profit first method that actually we're going to be having someone come on in probably in December. That's going to be talking about that. So that's great because this is tying into that. So what do you think would be a good percentage into because I know you said that you would put aside, of course, pay yourself first. And then, whatever fixed expenses that you may have, put aside monies, if you're going to buy, that's a way for us to grow our businesses, to grow our fleet, or, however we're going to be doing our business, but to be able to put another truck on the road, to be able to for us to set aside money per week. For another truck, so what percentage do you think would be good to be able to allocate to all these different categories that you're speaking of?
There was a time when I was leased onto a company, and I would set aside 10% of each settlement.
Okay.
So and that seemed to build up my reserves very quickly. So I would say 10% for profits.
Mm-hmm.
I base my what I pay myself based on what my bills are. I really don't base it on percentage. One thing I do you have to consider is your maintenance costs. I left that out. You want to I would say set aside 10% for maintenance at least.
Is it per truck or is it overall?
I mean, I personally, like I said, I don't do percentage. I like to do. I just like to do a gross, a set amount. So yeah, I'll just decide like 300, 400 a week for maintenance automatically. That just automatically, no matter what, I'm gonna set that aside, and I know what it's for. So and that'll help you a lot.
Okay. Now I know that when dealing with these truck expenses and these finances with the truck, I know now that it requires planning. So you from what I'm hearing based on you is that with these finances that you are making, everything is planned. So you have to pre-plan everything you do. Now, let me ask you this. When you pay yourself, does it change weekly, or does it basically stay the same of what you normally do, or that depends on what your trucks make that week?
That's a good question. I actually pay myself a salary, the same thing every week.
Okay.
Again, it's based on my household bills. So I know if I pay myself this every week, my personal bills are going to be taken care of, and so that way I'm pretty conservative in the way I do it. So as long as you pay yourself this set amount every week, you got the rest of that for your business side.
That's real good information. Now,
and I believe. I'm sorry, cut you out. And I believe that's why, a lot of people, a lot of truckers who come out here, they missing that. That's the one part they're missing in their business. Is the planning part. They don't separate the personal and the business. And so when they make a $5,000 check or that $10,000 check you spoke about earlier, they go and they splurge.
Now, I know we had some people from the banking industry on. How do you feel about them saying having a line of credit available? So how do you feel about that? And do you do that, or would you do that?
I think a line of credit is an awesome idea, because you never know. You may be strapped for cash, or you're low on cash flow. It's just always good to have that line of credit. So personally, when I first came out here, my first year, the motor on my truck had to be rebuilt. I didn't have a line of credit. I had a credit card. So I had a credit card with I think $15,000 credit limit on it. It was the first year, no interest on the credit card. So anyway, I didn't have a line of credit, but I had a credit card, and that was enough to help me sustain, being out of work for 2 months, also paying that bill. And now I have 4 trucks now because of that credit card.
Oh, okay.
Helping me get through that point. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yes.
So you, I'm sorry.
Okay.
No, so you still use that credit card basically still as a line of credit for you? Is that coming out your personal, or is that based on the business? Or, how did you, how is that that money lined up? Is it lined up under the business or you personally?
It's a business credit card.
Oh, okay.
There's a saying that I've always borrowed from this movie, that victory loves preparation. So basically what you have been saying to us today is we have to, in order for us to be victorious, we need to plan everything. We need to allocate different funds to, to payroll, to pay ourselves, to put aside for savings, to save up for to grow our fleet as well. So that is great. I remember when you first started out, and you've always told us that, we've I guess indirectly or inadvertently, or however you put it, we mentored you because of, you started out, leasing on with a particular company, and then you quickly grew from there. So, kudos to you for that, because you definitely have not only, you said we've mentored you, but you've actually also shown us a direction that we could go into as well. So thank you for that.
Well, it was actually a breath of fresh air. I'm gonna put it like that. I like to see that at least someone that we talked to listened, because I know we had. I remember the first conversation that we had. You was talking about putting somebody in the truck, and you still was going to work or whatever. And I was saying to you, "No, you don't want to do that." I said, "No." I said, "No, you don't want to do that." Cause I said,
"We've been there, done that."
I said, "It's not going to work out the way you think it's going to work out." So I'm not speaking negative, but from experience, I know that ain't nobody going to look after it the way you did. Well, I mean, you tried it and you found out that no, it's best that I go ahead and make this transition and do some things myself. And today you better all for it. Mm-hmm. Because that's the thing. If he was still back there dealing with him or the person that you had, you'd be frustrated. You'd still be going through certain things that, trying to get up off the ground, but because of the people and you didn't allow yourself the time that you needed in order to structure what you had to structure, then you couldn't do what you're doing right now. And see, that's, listening to you, I tell you, man, it's really great to hear how you work this thing out. And I'm very proud of you, man. Yes. I am. I'm really glad to see, man, that, you moving ahead. I know we've always talked about, certain things that you was involved in and certain things that you would do. And on this trucking side, you really had tapped into it. And now, you in the process of right now to be able to just launch things off, because that fleet of yours, I know it's going to grow. I know you're going to I know you're going to add more trucks. I know but see, now you got a system, how it's working. Mm-hmm. And the important thing is, these numbers. So, man, that's great. That is great. And I see that you getting the truck worked on right now, right? How do you like,
yes,
where you getting the truck worked on at? Would you just getting the PM done to it or what?
Yeah, we stopped at Speedco here to get a quick oil change and PM.
Oh, okay. Yes, okay. Do you like the way they service?
Yeah, they're pretty quick. So they're the Jiffy Lube for semis. That's what I call them.
Okay. Oh, okay.
That's what I call them.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I know you're busy. I don't want to hold you up too much longer, but this other question that I have to ask you: did you actually research your bank to find out what's best to suit you? Because I know you said you have a business credit card. I mean, how did you go about establishing that credit card, and what bank did you decide that you was going to use in order to get that card for your trucking business?
Okay. I used a website called nav.com. Mm-hmm. Now, nav.com is it's a website that will is tailored to businesses, small businesses, where you put your information in, and it'll tell you what are the best matches for you. It doesn't matter if you're a new business, more established business. Depending on whatever you're looking for, they'll match you with certain credit cards or short-term loans, lines of credit, and things like that. That's who I use.
Did your credit score have a lot to play with that, or what?
Your personal
credit score?
When I signed up for it, I really don't remember. It's been a while ago, but my personal credit score, it's always been pretty good. So I mean, it could have came into play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There was one other thing I wanted to get around to kind of finish off what I was talking about earlier. and that was breaking your weekly gross numbers down to a daily number to help you guide your daily activities. So if you need to make 4,000 a week, well, you need to make and you're gonna work 5 days a week, so you need to your loads need to be at least $800 a day, and that can help you. That can help guide you towards what you actually need to do versus what you want to do each day out here while you're out here on the road.
Oh, okay. So by you breaking it down daily, it gives you more leverage on what you need to do, what you need. So in other words, it helps you to be able to dictate your loads and all that other stuff that you have to run. You know, exactly. So do you do things? Are you doing something dedicated, or do you just constantly work off the board?
I do a little of both. We're coming upon the peak season. They like to call it in trucking, holidays and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So during this time of the year, we're going to be running, every truck going to be on dedicated lanes for the rest of the year. And then after that, we'll probably pretty much run the load board. But I do a little dedicated here in the load board, little mix of both.
Little mix of both. Oh, okay. Yeah. So what is your radius? Because I want people to understand is that you don't have to travel, because I'm a team. We travel across country, but I want people to know that you don't have to do what we're doing in order to be successful. You can literally work regional or some local and still be successful. So what is your radius that you do?
Yeah, my trucks drive within about a 350 mile radius from Baltimore. Okay, so that'll get you to the top of New Jersey, down probably close to Charlotte, North Carolina. Yep.
So basically, that's basically how you stay within those lanes like that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so are you home every night or home every other night, or how do you work that?
I have them home. Most of my drivers are home every other night. I don't have them unless they want to be, out there like that. I'll do it, but most of them are home every other day.
Oh, okay. Are they off on weekends, or do they work on the weekends?
They're off on weekends. Like I said, unless they want to work. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, man, that's awesome. That goes to prove a point right there. You don't have to do heavy hauling, long hauling, in order to be prosperous. Now, when you was doing it, when you only had that one truck, how did you make out? Did you still do this? Did you still stay along that same radius, 300 miles, or how did you do it when you was in that one truck?
It was a progress for me, a process for me. When I first got out here, the race was awesome in 2018. Mm-hmm. And man, I could go to Shippensburg, PA, and go right over to like the bottom of New Jersey and make great money. And so I was really in a 150 mile radius. And then we hit those hard times when the numbers started getting low. I realized I had to drive a little farther to make that same amount of money. And so I began to go to North Carolina, South Carolina more often. And I realized how much more money I was making. It's a little more expensive because you're driving more miles, but you make more money. So that's kind of how I progressed to doing the North Carolina, South Carolina to Jersey. When I found out you could make more money, so I kind of stuck with that. It's pretty good money doing that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that is completely awesome. I had a question that was on the top of my mind, but it left me. So okay, it might come back. If not, that's why we can always catch it another time. Try to write it down. But I am just it's just a honor, Kurt. To actually being able to talk to you and you taking the time out and doing this. We really appreciate that. But here's a question. How long did you work for someone else before your authority seasoned, before you got your own authority and then start seasoning?
Okay. So, like I said, well, I worked for a company for about 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And, so when I got my own truck, I leased onto a company.
Mm-hmm.
I leased on to them about, it was about 2 years.
Okay.
So after that 2 year period, I pretty much had learned everything I needed to know. And then I went out and got my own authority.
So how
So
long
roughly about 2 years.
So how long did it take you in order for you to actually start running under your own authority? Did it take you, did your authority have to season first before you ran under your own authority? So in other words, did you have to sit on it for a little while before you can start running with other companies? Or how did that work for you?
Actually, I think it's a little different now, but at that time last year, there was a few companies you could, as soon as you get your authority active, the first day you could fill out your package to your carrier package, which is you would fill out your carrier package, which is an agreement for you to haul loads for a particular broker. And there happened to be about 3 or 4 brokers I could haul for immediately the first day.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome. So basically that shows that in the type of industry that we're in, you have to learn how to build relationships. And because of the relationships that you had built, that gave you leverage to be able to step out on your own, to be able to be successful as you are today. So that's awesome.
Yeah. I agree. If I didn't have certain people in my life, I don't think I would be here at this position I am right now. Definitely.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Kirk, I know you have to go, and we want to thank you for your time today, because I know how important your time is, and also we definitely. People too, I want to let you know he's also the moderator. One of our moderators on Clubhouse, and he's always there adding value as well. So, he's going to be taking to him when he start concerning the numbers, dealing with the trucking aspect of it. So, I want you all to tune in, because I tell you, he is a wealth of information. So, it'd be to your advantage and to your benefit to just lock in to what some of the things he say, because ain't no need of going through it if somebody else have already been through it. Just learn from them. That way, it'll make your steps a little bit easier. Kirk, again, man, you always on the top of my list. So, man, I appreciate
I appreciate y'all.
You doing this, man, and we thank you so very much for your time. And as I say, man, keep it trucking. And then congrats on that new baby, man. I know.
Thank you.
That's something else. Honey, it's on you now. So.
Okay. Well, with that being said, this is Team Porter in Trucking and Business, and we say stay safe.